love. And it was about something that happened with my wife. I'm not going to go into details, but yeah. And what really ticked me off, he said he was a born again Christian and all this, and it's like, dude, man, I just, you've never been married. Do you know how jealous you get? I mean, King Solomon talks about that. I mean, this is my wife, my beloved, dude. How can you do this and take advantage of when she was weak and do this? I just felt really jealous and offended, and I was wrong though. And I struck the guy. Did 5 days in a low security. They called it the farm. It was in Watsonville, down in Santa Cruz County, and but I think it must have been misdemeanor in the way I explained. The judge knew I was wearing padded gloves, and I just whacked him upside the head. He flew, and it took 5 guys to hold me down. I was pretty upset. I was jealous, and you get pretty powerful when you. But you know what? I could never. I was not required to call the guy later and apologize personally. I did. I was sorry. You can really hurt somebody, and I was sorry. It was the wrong thing to do, and it did not help win any points with my beloved. It was nails in the coffin of our relationship, and it was wrong. But when I hear about people like this that just think they could do anything, I mean, God, I'm so glad I don't have to ever live with that. I get jealous, but it's pure, and I say, you know what? I'll let go, man. I mean, my wife, I finally said, you know what? She met a nice guy. I remember Joe, and I said, you know what? I like Joe. That's it, man. I want her to be happy. That's it, man. You let go. Better man than me? Okay. Yeah, it's jealous. It hurts so good. Because I'm going to be who I want to be. That's it. I'm not going to hate him. He loves the same woman I love. How are you going to hate a guy like that? Are you going to make him your enemy? But it was just a horrible crime scene. Explain, this guy just beat the dude into a pulp. Another reason to love your enemies, King Solomon wrote about this. Not a typo. He wrote that, he compared it to pouring hot coals over the head of your enemy. That they don't want to be loved. I mean, not that should be the motivation, the incentive to love your enemy. It should be what Jesus said. It's just and proper. I mean, it's easy. All those that love you already love you. I mean, that's easy to love them. That's no credit to you. But what you want to do is love those that are hard to love, hate you without a cause. Okay, those are the ones that you got to reach out to and try to understand. Let them understand you got no reason to hate me. I want the best for you. I'm not a threat. I'm the opposite of a threat, whatever that is. I want to be a comfort and encouragement to you. So by hating your enemy, you see, it's the opposite of pouring hot coals on their head. It's like, showering them with flowers and potpourri, and, that's it. So, I mean, it's just going to hurt you to hate your enemy. We got the plastic bag lobby coming out and saying, oh, it's just not working. So you got to lift the ban on plastic bags for a few bucks, and so destroy the planet. But, we'll save a few jobs. That's great. We've all heard of that Texas-size area of litter out in the middle of the freaking ocean. In the Pacific, maybe the Atlantic too. I don't know how that works, but I think it's in the Pacific. We got this 12-year-old guy locally here in Sacramento that was manhandled. He spit on the cops, and the cops put a spit mask on him, and the parents are complaining. Now they got a lawyer and all. Dude. You're supposed to teach your kids to be respectful, not just to law enforcement, to everybody. But have you ever had your spit in your face? Jesus did. Okay, it's gross. Okay. No. It's not tolerable. Yes, a spit mask is very appropriate. 12-year-olds have been tried for murder as adults. So, no. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with what these cops did. It was all on camera. And, no. We got this abortion debate is big in the news now. And all I could say about that is, nobody in their right mind likes abortion. And I say all those people that hate abortion, like myself, I say, you know what? Then you've got to fight to have prosperity for the women, a universal basic income. Make sure our women are financially well-heeled. so that this disincentivizes them to have to kill their babies. Because a lot of people women have abortions because they feel they can't afford it, and the guys just, yeah, I don't. It's indifferent. Not my problem. Your body, Yeah, here I'll pay for it. I'll pay half. What, a lot of pissant guys out there. God, I could never see doing that, man. I'd be thrilled. I say, I don't care what hardship it brings me, babe. If you want a bandit, I'll take that baby. I impregnated you. You bet. You want to run off with another man, whatever it takes. I'll watch that kid. And I proved it. I proved it in my marriage. I was a single dad for many years, and I don't regret one moment, one scintilla of time I spent doing that. I had the greatest time raising my daughter. I'm so happy. I've such a wonderful bond with my daughters. They respect me, and I was respectful to them and their friends. I never looked at them in an unbecoming manner or their friends, and I just thank God for giving me the strength to do that, to raise them properly. And God, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Sure, I would love to have their mother. It was an aching pain, gnawing pain to not have their mother there. But I did that myself. I screwed up my own marriage, and I've told my daughters repeatedly, don't blame their mom. I've defended her over and over. She had, she got in a relationship with a guy that was abusing her, and then you get that Stockholm Syndrome sets in, and they're afraid. They're literally scared to death to leave their partner sometimes. So it was one of those kind of scenes. The guy turned out to be a real loser, a molester, and pedophile, and all that, and he's doing life in prison, putting hits out on the DA and on her. It's a real mess. But they had a delightful daughter together, so some good came out of it. God has a way to bring good into things that appear all bad, but they're not all bad. All this Trump harassment really, it blows, and they need to get on with fixing the problems in our country. They're just causing divisions just so it diverts attention away from these corrupt a-hole politicians. Your Nancy Pelosi's sicking me. This woman, we all saw this news. She stole that motorhome with the dogs. Poor dog had to jump out. Can you imagine how panic-stricken a dog is to jump out? But they turned out to be okay. Poor pooches. I don't condone the consumption of anything toxic, and I talked about my time on the island of Maui in Hawaii and going to the town of Hana. My friend Jeff, he and his girlfriend had a camper over there, so we were cruising around, me and another friend. We were all surfing, the three of us, four of us all together. Oh, five with her little boy. But, I'm not saying anybody should do what we did in Hana, but you got to know what you're doing. When it comes to eating a toxic mushroom, a poisonous mushroom, you better know what the hell you're doing. So I don't recommend it, but we got away with it. I read this book several years back. This woman had written. It was about statistics, and she was talking about the fact that there's 640,000 charities in America at the turn of the century. But the problems just keep getting worse. And, do we ask why? Well, I'm just about out of time, folks. So instead of going on to some thoughts from this last week, because I was all caught up last week, I thought I'd share a few family photos with you. Here's my dad and I on Solstice, the boat, the fixer-upper, the little sloop he bought in it was Essex or Sussex, England. Hey, he's got a cigarette in his hand. You see that? Big claws that guy had. But that's my dad, and I was about 9 years old. We sailed around. I've been to Spain, through the canals of France, Italy, lived on Malta, lived in Ireland, lived in England. Here's a picture of my mom from probably, we're talking about the mid-50s, I would guess. It was in Monterey. Pretty lady, huh? And here's a picture. Here's a picture of two of my mom's brothers. That's George there. That's my grandmother, my mom's mother, the Dalmatian. And over on the other end is John Restovich.
He was a cop in Pacific Grove for a while, and the two boys there, they went together into the FBI on the buddy system, and from there they went into the Secret Service, according to my uncle Bill, who was a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force. He told me that story. My aunt and uncle told me that story. But nice family, the Restovich boys. George was a big guy. He was about 6'4". And here's my daughters when they were adolescents. They're pretty ladies. They turned out to be beautiful women.